Nearly 1 million Americans are at risk of losing pandemic unemployment assistance next month. That is 2 months before federal funding is due to expire. Amy Peeke reports Republican governors in 20 states are planning on shutting down all unemployment benefits for gig workers in June. These are individuals who are freelancers or self-employed. Amy joins me now. She's a reporter for CBS Money Watch. Hi, Amy. Great to see you. So what is the reason these governors are giving for ending this federal program early?
Hi, Tanya. Yeah, thanks for having me on to talk about this. So this is part of a push in these states to end enhanced unemployment benefits early. And the reasons they're giving is because they're saying employers can't find workers. We're hearing this a lot from restaurants that are saying they can't find people to staff up the restaurants as they're reopening and as people are coming back to dine. And they're also saying we're seeing a lot of job listings in our states. If you want a job, you can get a job. And they're worried that the enhanced benefits, which has been about $300 extra a week, that they're keeping people on the sidelines. And instead of wanting to get a job, they're saying they're happy to stay at home and collect unemployment. Now, there's a lot of debate about that. And economists say there's not a lot of evidence to show that this is actually happening, that this is keeping people on the sidelines. And then the other thing that's important about the gig workers is that last year, when the pandemic hit, Congress passed a new program called the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, or PUA, that for the first time ever gave gig workers and self-employed workers access to to unemployment benefits. And that's what's coming to an end for these workers in 20 states that have Republican governors. And so that is 2 months early. They're earlier than they expected. And the governors gave them basically 4 weeks notice to say this is ending early. But it's still, 2 months earlier than they had planned for that to end. So it's caught a lot of them off guard.
Yeah, I was going to say, you spoke with people who are set to lose their benefits earlier than they were anticipating. I'm going to guess they're not feeling great about it. What did they tell you?
Yeah, I talked to a lot of self-employed workers. They're very stressed and they're very worried. First of all, they had planned for this benefit to go until September. So they're worried because now they're saying, okay, we're trying to find jobs. I talked to one woman who applied to 100 jobs. She had worked as a house cleaner, her own business, for 15 years, and her clients are still remotely working. So they're not ready to hire her back yet. So her income is still way down. And so she's saying to me, I've looked for jobs. No one's going to hire me because I don't have a traditional resume. I'm not getting callbacks. And now I'm facing this loss of income. And that's a very common story that I heard. I also heard from a lot of mothers, single mothers especially, with kids under 12 who aren't able to get vaccinated yet. And their point is there's still a pandemic going on. Our kids can't get vaccinated. Some of them have health issues and they're not comfortable sending them back to school or into summer camps. And so they're at a loss as well and not sure what's going to happen. I spoke to one young mom with 2 kids under 12 who's worried about getting evicted from her apartment next month after this ends.
Right. I was going to bring up the fact that, women have been so affected by the pandemic because, of course, when kids are home from school, it's often the woman or the mother who has to leave the job and stay home with the kids. And so this is not changing that situation. They can't go back to work because schools are still most of them are still online. And even the schools that are not are set to end. Summer is about to begin, right? And so they either can't afford summer camp or, like you said, don't feel safe yet sending their child to summer camp. So they can't go back to work, even if they want to, if they're stuck with this childcare situation. So I'm just wondering, in these circumstances, do these workers have any chance of applying for this federal aid anyway? In other words, the fact that they're eligible for it on a federal level, could that supersede the wishes of the governor?
No, unfortunately, because even though this is federally money that's provided by the federal government, it's actually run by the states. And so if the state decides this is over, that's pretty much it, unfortunately. I did talk with an official at the Department of Labor who told me they are trying and looking at everything they can to figure out how to make sure these benefits continue for these workers. Unfortunately, they have not been able to find a way to make it work yet. So that is that's a real stress for the Biden administration that would like to see these benefits continue until September. And you're quite right about moms. It's interesting. A lot of them said to me, if it had continued until September, they'd be in a great place because they feel like at that point there probably would be vaccines for younger children and school would be back in session and they'd be in a better place. But instead, they're looking at a summer without any unemployment benefits in these 20 states. And that's hard. And as you said, there's 1 million people who are going to lose all these benefits starting next month.
And those 1 million people do cast votes. So, we'll see how that fleshes out. All right. Well, Amy Peachy, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Tanya.